we are kicking things off with a massive shakeup in education policy. The latest Leandro case ruling has sent shockwaves through North Carolina, forcing us to ask a critical question. How will North Carolina provide students with a sound basic education? This decision, following years of legal battles, has wiped out previous financial remedies and puts the entire responsibility squarely on the shoulders of the state legislature to figure out equitable funding across all school districts.
Stop using your finger for notes, sketches, and edits. This Jam Jake stylus pen gives your iPad a smoother, more precise writing feel with palm rejection so your hand can rest naturally on the screen. It charges fast, works for hours, and comes with replacement tips. Perfect for school, work, or creative projects. Check the link in the comments to grab it on Amazon.
Switching gears completely, we dive into the high-stakes action from the college sports world. We have live updates from the NCAA men's lacrosse game, where Virginia and North Carolina are battling it out in a fierce contest. Watch as players like McCabe Millen score crucial goals, and Merrick makes a massive save in a tight matchup that keeps every eye glued to the action. Next up, we follow the intense competition in college baseball as we bring you live updates from the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets versus the North Carolina Tar Heels. We break down the scoring in the second game, tracking how the teams battled through the innings and whether Georgia Tech can bounce back from a tough start against the Tar Heels. And finally, we look at the future of North Carolina basketball. UNC guard Seth Trimble is hitting the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament to boost his draft stock ahead of the 2026 NBA draft. We break down his impressive performance and what it means for his chances of being selected, so stay with us for all the latest updates. The recent split decision in the Leandro case has reignited intense debate over how North Carolina will ensure a sound basic education for all students. The Supreme Court has dismissed key lower court orders, effectively wiping out financial remedies that previously sought to compel the state legislature to allocate billions more dollars for public education. While the constitutional mandate to provide every child the opportunity for a sound basic education remains intact, the ruling shifts the responsibility for funding squarely back to the state legislature. The case originated in 1994 when low-wealth districts sued the state, arguing that the funding system overly relied on local tax bases, creating significant disparities between wealthier and poorer school districts. A key argument, highlighted by former Hoke County Schools Superintendent Bill Harrison, centered on the inability of poorer districts to attract and retain qualified teachers, leading to larger class sizes and diminished academic opportunities. The latest ruling, delivered by the state Supreme Court, invalidated lower court orders, including one that proposed a plan requiring over $1.5 billion in additional funding. Chief Justice Paul Newby stated that the original case focused on specific districts, but evolved into a statewide challenge that did not follow the correct legal process, affirming the legislature's sole authority over appropriations. This decision raises critical questions about equitable fund distribution, with per-pupil allocations varying significantly across districts and state funding accounting for a shrinking share of spending in wealthier counties. The gap between districts is widening. Statistics from 2025 illustrate this disparity. Hoke County, one of the original plaintiffs, ranked near the bottom in per-student spending at $12,130 annually, with only $1,371 coming from local contributions. This contrasts sharply with Chapel Hill-Cabrillo City Schools, which had a total spending of $17,287 per student. Bill Harrison noted that the disparity is now greater than in the 1990s. Consequently, districts that hoped the Leandro ruling would force state funding increases are now reliant on the General Assembly to provide high-quality teachers and programs for every district. House Republicans have committed to investing in education through budget proposals, including raising starting teacher pay to $50,000 and providing average raises, but the fundamental challenge of equitable resource distribution remains unresolved. In a tight NCAA men's lacrosse matchup, number 11 Virginia faced number 3 North Carolina in a high-scoring affair, showcasing intense back-and-forth action across the quarters. Virginia established an early lead, going man-up to start the half, but ultimately failing to convert. However, momentum shifted as McCabe Millens scored on a hidden ball trick to cut the deficit to 2. In the second half, the game remained fiercely contested. A critical moment came when Merck made a massive save, halting a North Carolina attack with 35 seconds remaining in the half, allowing Virginia to trail 7-11. North Carolina responded strongly, finding another goal before Ryan Calsey, who was questionable, headed in, and Ryan Dunkel scored his first of the game, narrowing the gap to 3. The scoring continued to fluctuate. Brendan Millen found Trute Sunderland to bring Virginia within 4 points. In a key sequence, North Carolina capitalized on a face-off opportunity to score, with Hausman picking up his third penalty of the day, leading to a 9-4 score. Virginia later managed to break a scoring drought with a cannon from Brendan Millen. The first quarter was marked by defensive struggles for Virginia, with Greenspan receiving an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, allowing North Carolina to add 2 goals as the Hoos were battered by penalties. The quarter concluded with a late surge for North Carolina, including a goal from Dominic Pietramala, assisted by Owen Duffy, followed by a draw by Brady Wambach. Overall, the game reflected the competitive history between the two programs. Virginia holds a significant historical advantage, boasting a 59-33 advantage since 1938, with 59 wins against any opponent in program history. While North Carolina secured the last 2 meetings with Carolina at Clerkner Stadium, the contest demonstrated the high-stakes nature of this rivalry. North Carolina baseball secured a commanding lead over Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets in the second game of their matchup, with the Tar Heels leading 7-1 heading into the bottom of the 4th inning. The game was a defensive struggle for Georgia Tech, as they struggled significantly to hold the lead, surrendering 5 runs across the first 3 innings. In the 3rd inning, Dylan Loy replaced Buisama and managed a scoreless inning, maintaining the 7-0 advantage. Later in the 3rd, Daniel and Burress each recorded a single, but a subsequent double play ended the threat. A significant blow came when the Tar Heels blasted a 2-out grand slam, cementing the 7-0 lead. Early in the contest, Georgia Tech faced adversity, allowing a leadoff single and a 1-out single to give North Carolina an early 1-0 lead. The score remained tight through the 2nd inning, with a sequence involving a leadoff walk and an RBI single giving UNC an early 1-0 lead, followed by a wild pitch that allowed Georgia Tech to take a 2-0 lead before an RBI groundout extended the advantage to 3-0. The first 3 innings resulted in a scoreless 1-2-3 inning for Georgia Tech, leaving the game tied 0-0 heading into the bottom of the 1st inning. For the Yellow Jackets, Porter Buisama is slated to pitch this afternoon with the following lineup: Drew Burress, Von Lackey, Jaron Advincula, Alex Hernandez, Kent Schmidt, Ryan Zuckerman, Will Baker, Carson Curse, and Caleb Daniel. Despite the strong performance from the Tar Heels, Georgia Tech faces a significant challenge to bounce back in this contest. North Carolina guard Seth Trimble is aggressively working to elevate his NBA draft stock by participating in the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament this week. The tournament serves as a high-stakes showcase, featuring 64 draft hopefuls from across college basketball, offering players a crucial opportunity to demonstrate their skills against elite competition. Scouts are keenly watching Trimble's game, particularly his slashing ability, prowess getting to the rim, and point-of-attack defense, all of which make him an intriguing prospect. A strong performance at the PIT could significantly enhance his chances of being selected in the upcoming 2026 NBA draft. Trimble has already begun making an impact. In his initial appearance for Norfolk Sports Club, he tallied 9 points on 4-7 shooting from the floor and secured 2 rebounds. The following day, he continued his strong form, scoring 13 points on 6-12 shooting from the floor and adding 6 rebounds. The longtime Tar Heel is focused on maximizing his profile ahead of the draft. Trimble has anchored the team for 4 seasons, achieving his best statistical output in the 2025-26 season with an average of 14 points per game on 47% shooting from the floor. His career at UNC has been defined by his tenure under coach Hubert Davis, a period that saw the Tar Heels experience early NCAA tournament exits. Despite these outcomes, Trimble remains a vital component of the Davis era. His continued success could lead to a draft selection, potentially setting a precedent for future recruits. Trimble's contributions were also critical during a challenging period when star Caleb Wilson suffered a season-ending injury in early February. While the team faced difficulties in the NCAA tournament, Trimble's influence on the squad cannot be overstated. Trimble is setting an ambitious goal: to become the second Tar Heel from last season's roster to be drafted, following Caleb Wilson, who is widely anticipated to be selected within the top 5 of the 2026 NBA draft. A draft selection for Trimble would represent a significant success story for the program and could serve as a powerful recruitment tool for future talent looking to join Chapel Hill.